Alright, MegaMan One-Take Guides, Part 1, Hit Priority and Projectiles. Just to make sure before I dive into it, this is a series meant for newcomers to MegaMan, or newcomers to Smash in general, especially this video, as it will cover how hit priority works in Super Smash Bros. Like, why do you lose to certain moves, and it will focus highly on how projectiles work in this game, as it is so important for Mega Man players. Before we get into it, yes, I know I've made this video before. This is a re-upload. I just watched the old one, and I figured it needed a little quality of life change. Let's say that. So yeah, this is the remake. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hit priority. They are split into three parts: the strong hits, the multi-hits, and the transcendent. Strong hits are basically most of the hits in the game. They are just single hits, they do a bunch of damage, good knockback. Singular hits, basically, are single hits. Then there's the multi-hits. The multi-hits will usually beat out the strong hits, which is why when you lose to some hits, usually it's because it's a multi-hit. If two strong hits were to hit together, they would clank. If a multi-hit and a strong hit together, usually the multi-hit will be able to go through and hit the person. This is just in general. There's some stuff that can mess up these rules, like disjoints. Disjoints will usually beat out the multi-hit simply because the hitbox will reach the hurt box of your opponent faster than the multi-hit would. So it would usually either clank or go through. Then there's the Transcendent. Transcendent are a bit tricky. They end up being moves that can go through anything, but they won't clank. So you don't win, you will usually trade with these moves. DDD is a good example. Most of his hammer moves are actually Transcendent. So if you try to trade with him, most of the time you'll just end up trading, exactly hitting one another. And since he hits so hard, it's usually not that good of an idea. But at the same time, this means projectiles are really useful versus King DDD or long disjoints. That's gonna be pretty much it for the hit priority. I don't want to go too deep into it. As I mentioned, this is more for beginners. But now it's time for the main dish, the projectiles. Projectiles, unlike hits in general, are split into 5 groups. You can split them into the weak projectiles, strong projectiles, transcendent, bombs, and ricochets. What I mean by weak projectiles, they are moves that will get beaten by pretty much anything in there. It usually, the moment they hit another move, they will disappear. Like, let's say with MegaMan, you shoot a lemon, someone can literally just jab in front of them. If they hit the lemon disappears. It can clank or go through. A strong projectile will beat out a weak projectile, as it will keep going. It won't get stopped. While the weak projectile will just disappear. So it kind of gets eaten. So strong projectiles are really good. There's some in the game, but not that many that I can think of off the top of my head. Then there's the Transcendence, same as before. They are simply moves that will go through. And yes, we do have some. I'll go through it after. Bombs are moves that will usually... they have a hurt box. So they will usually get deflected or change their trajectory based on how you hit them with what, how much strength and everything. Ricochets are moves that have kind of finicky mechanics to them, to be honest. As in, while they are going out, you can hit them, it will affect them, remove their hurt box, make them fall to the ground, just send them flying back. Or, if they are on their way back, then they will usually not get affected at all, so you just need to get out of the way. To make things a bit more clear, I've got some examples. I'm not gonna just drop that like this. I made this little table, try and make sure it's a bit more visual. So yeah, first let's go with MegaMan. When it comes to weak projectiles, our Lemons, Crash Bomb, and Metal Blade count as weak projectiles, which means if they get to meet another hitbox, they will just disappear instantly. Then there's our strong projectiles. The Leaf Shield, I'm not talking about when it's spinning around us, that's not a projectile. I'm talking about when we're shooting it at the end of the animation, or end of the move. And the Hard Knuckle, which is our down air. These are strong projectiles, as in they will go through weak projectiles, they can go through some hits. They are really reliable and really good. The only problem with Leaf Shield is that it is laggy, but if you do it from far enough, there's really like close to no risk to using it. But also it doesn't do much, so try not to do that too much. It's good when it's close, and yeah, let's not go into that. Transcendent moves. Moves that can go through. Our forward smash is part of it. So if someone just throws out, I don't know, Wolf tries to laser you, you can trade it with a forward smash. You actually win that trade. You do more damage, you have more knockback. Or our up air. Up air is the one with our most interesting properties, in my opinion. Simply because it is transcendent. It has a huge wind box, which is why people must not jump out of it, or they get sent flying. Which lingers a bit longer than the move, actually. And it is a multi-hit. It doesn't do a huge bunch of damage in one go. It depends how many times they get hit. Heavy is obviously a larger hurt box, so and they fall faster, so more hits will hit them. Then, when it comes to bombs and Ricochette, we don't have any of these. However, we can go through other people's moves to help you figure out what I mean by these. For weak projectiles, Gunlink's arrows, Mario's fireballs, you can just trade with them real quick, and you won't lose the trade. You can use it to reset, let's say your Mario shoots a fireball. Just jab it, it will clank, instantly reset you, you have barely no lag at all. And the fireball is out of the way. You don't have to deal with it in a super hard way. When it comes to strong projectiles, Piranha Plants, Spike Ball, Belmont's Axes, and Nikita. Nikita is a bit tricky, I'll get back to it. Basically, there are moves that if you hit them, they don't care. They'll keep going for you. Belmont's Axe can be hit by some moves. For whatever reason, often forward airs. I know for MegaMan it works. If you hit it with a forward air, it will just fall in front of you. But in general, if you trade it with another projectile, it will just keep going. Nikita, as I said, is a bit tricky as it is a strong projectile, but it also has a hurt box, so it's kind of a mix between strong projectile and bombs. So yeah, be wary of it. It's a mean projectile. When it comes to transcendent moves, other examples that will go through Thoron, Rob's Laser, Wolf's Gun, they're all transcendent moves, so let's say you're shooting lemons, and they shoot that projectile, they might get hit by the lemon, which in that case will be bad, because they are all laggy moves, and you will get hit, well maybe not Wolf's Gun, but whatever. The lemon will reset their lag for only 2%, and you will get hit by the projectile. So yeah, not worth it. So yeah, those go through. The bombs, as I said, they have hurt box. What this means is, let's say I am to throw lemons at it. Most of the time, it will just take the lemons. It will slightly go back up, but the bomb won't disappear. It will still do its thing. Let's say it works for like all of the 4 that are listed there. I think they are all of the bombs. I might be missing 1 or 2. But Splat Bomb from Inkling, the bombs from all of the links, the Holy Water, and Snake's Grenades. These are all bombs. They all have hurt box, and that also means Nikita, as I said, it can also be there. And this also means that they can beat some transcendent moves, because they have a hurt box. If your transcendent move is Rob's Laser or Thoron, they go through your opponent, it doesn't matter. When we're talking about Wolf Smash, Wolf's Gun and Forward Smash from Mega Man, the moment they hit something, they disappear. So if someone is to throw a bomb in front of your Forward Smash will just disappear. And the bomb won't even explode, it's just gonna get sent back flying in the air. So you gotta be careful not to use too many Forward Smashes versus them. Might as well just limit at that point. And then there's their Ricochette. Like I said, they are a little weird. The boomerangs from all of the links and the Belmont's Cross fit in that category, as they will go through whatever you shoot at them when they are coming back. They just kind of become strong projectiles, while before that they behave more like weak projectiles, as in if you hit them, they will disappear, they will fall to the ground, or in Belmont's Cross's case, they will just go straight back to them. So this is really good to know about, as you can influence them, and you know that if they're in front of you, shoot a lemon, you're fine. If it's behind you, just get out of the way, or shield it, because if you try to shoot it with a lemon, you're just gonna lose it. I think that's about it. That about wraps it up. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Have a nice one, and hopefully this helps you figure out quickly during a match, in a matchup you're not too used to it, how to behave versus certain characters, certain projectiles, how you can deal with them. Have a nice one.